whole thing, it started as a basic flu. I thought it was your average normal flu, no big deal. You know, the usual stuffy nose, throat, a sore throat, all this shit. The problem was the sore throat didn't want to end. It never fucking wanted to end. I kept taking days off. I kept taking breaks, like from streaming, making commentaries, because I figured maybe just resting my voice would be enough. However, it wasn't enough. In fact, I took these breaks and there was no improvement at all. Finally, I got really frustrated, like around the 22nd March, and I just stopped making commentaries altogether because I was pretty worried that I had laryngitis, which is basically your voice box being, just being inflamed from too much talking and shit. So I figured I'd just stop making commentaries because talking for like 15-20 minutes for YouTube was really screwing with my voice, and streaming and talking a lot was also screwing with it. So I just stopped making commentaries and I started taking days off. But there was still no fucking improvement. It felt like it wasn't getting better at all. So I visited the doctors like last week around Wednesday, and they took pretty much all the tests. I went private because I couldn't be arsed sitting in a common hospital waiting for hours upon hours. So they took the usual tests. They took strep tests, the quick one, the cultivation, and then they took like some protein C test or whatever. So I figured this should tell me everything that's wrong. The problem was all the tests came back negative. So I was like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? And then last Friday, as I was going to sleep, my throat was actually starting to hurt a fair bit. Like it's been sore, but now it was actually starting to cause some physical pain, which is obviously not that welcome. Anyway, when I woke up on Saturday, my throat was swollen as fuck. It was hugely swollen. The lymph nodes, like that are under your jaw, the left-hand jaw, they were really swollen, and it hurt. It hurt like a motherfucker. Like, it felt like someone had a knife in my throat every time I swallowed, and it was really causing me a lot of pain. So I was taking painkillers. I literally had to Google just how much burana and shit you can eat in a day so I didn't accidentally overdose, because I couldn't drink, I couldn't eat. Like, I was hungry, but I didn't want to eat because it hurt too much to swallow. And I couldn't really drink either. Like, I tried to gargle. I did all the fucking remedies. Gargle with salt water, ginger, honey, tea, blah, 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 blah. I did all that shit. Nothing really helped. It was a goddamn pain in the ass. And then Saturday evening, usually you swallow your spit in your mouth. You constantly generate spit in your mouth, and usually you automatically swallow it. But on Saturday evening, because it hurt so much to swallow it, I decided I was going to spit it out because it just hurt to swallow it so much. I just went to spit it out in the sink. And I thought it looked a bit strange. So I gathered some more spit and I spit again. And that's when I realized I was also spitting blood. So obviously my throat was so fucked that I was basically bleeding into my mouth constantly. So that was obviously a sign that my throat was probably not in the best possible shape. Still though, it was already late on Saturday evening, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna do any fucking thing about this now. I'm gonna get some sleep. So I once again popped the shit ton of painkillers. I figured I'll get a good night's sleep. We'll see how it feels in the morning. The only problem was, even with painkillers, I couldn't sleep because, as I said, when spit gathers in your mouth, you swallow automatically. And the thing is, every time I did that while sleeping, the pain was so fucking extreme it woke me up. So I'd like sleep 15 minutes, wake up, sleep 15 minutes, wake up. So at around 8 a.m. yesterday, I was a complete fucking wreck. But I crawled out of bed, I called private doctor again. This time it was a bit trickier because it was Easter Sunday, 8 a.m. But luckily there are private places that are open. So I went there and... she took one look at my throat. She felt my fucking swollen throat, as well the lymph nodes or whatever. And she was like, okay, yeah, we're giving you antibiotics and we're giving you painkillers. And honestly, even just a day of those antibiotics, like, it's fucking magical. Like, this was yesterday morning, and today I already feel like 100 times better. With the painkillers I could get a proper night's sleep, and with the antibiotics being in my body for like what, maybe 30 hours by now, a bit more than that, already feeling a shit ton better. The swelling has already gone down, and overall I'm feeling a shit ton better. So not really sure what the hell I still don't know what the hell it was. People are talking about tonsillitis in chat, but I had my tonsils removed when I was young, so I find that unlikely. So yeah, Turmix, thank you for the sub. Resini Towley 420, thank you for the sub. So that's basically where I have been. I have not been doing commentaries and shit because I've been spitting blood and having issues breathing because my throat has been so swollen. So that's that's been an interesting Easter for me, to say the least. However, these antibiotics, V-Pen Mega, they gave me a 10-day cure or whatever. So these have been working really goddamn well, and I've been feeling a shit ton better. So that's obviously good. It's some sort of inflammation. I don't know what inflammation, but something nasty. And obviously the antibiotics have been working really well.
Not enough vodka in stream.
Clearly. I've been the Ferret Army. You can buy these jugs of honey. I've been working through these jugs of honey, like one entire jug in like 5 days. That's how much fucking honey I've been putting in my tea. Probably tonsillitis. People saying strep don't make any sense, because as I said, I went to the doctors and they took the strep tests and I didn't have strep, so it couldn't have been strep. I still don't know what the hell it was, but at least now it's significantly better. In other news though, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to Wargaming shenanigans, but it seems that Wargaming has actually been watching my vids. Well, they did mention that they watched my discussion about damage vid, and they were monitoring the feedback. And because that vid got so much positive feedback, you guys kicked in here, you guys thought it was a really fucking good vid and you encouraged it and so forth. Wargaming decided to implement it into the game. I don't know if you guys have actually been paying attention to it. Let me say, I can show you the image. Let's see. Okay, here we have it. Yeah. Bomb ribbons and new counters. Ribbons for all bombs, well, that's not that special, but counters for potential damage, all received and blocked damage, and damage due to spotting, aka spotting ribbons, and potential damage ribbons. The things that I wanted so much to be added to the game, which I made that commentary about, Wargaming has taken that into account and they are actually adding it. So that's pretty goddamn amazing. Also, other changes which they added a day later. Visibility of all torpedoes from planes decreased twofold. That's also been something I've complained about, how carriers shut down DDs entirely. Well, Wargaming have changed that now, so visibility of all torpedoes from planes decreased twofold. So that means plane carriers won't shut down, especially Shimakaze, as hard as it used to, because the torps aren't as easily spotted by planes. So, Wargaming actually doing a lot of good shit. And then we have, I can save this one as well. These are all basically all things that I have been recommending, and it seems like Wargaming has in one sweep started adding pretty much all the things I wanted to the game. They have started adding. Then there's this one as well. These balance changes. Shimakaze. The way I wanted Shimakaze to be buffed, as I mentioned repeatedly, is give it a better concealment, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're giving it better concealment than the rest, so it can actually compete with the rest much better. Hipper, Eugen, I've been asking for heal or reload, or if they want to like differentiate the two cruisers, they give one heal and the other reload. This is like word for word my suggested changes that they are implementing, and it's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. I sound mega loud on my mic. Why do I sound mega loud on my mic? Let's see. Why would I be mega loud? Oh, my... Is it better now? My webcam... Oh shit, this one is on... Whoa, what the fuck? Why does... For some reason, my webcam... It put my volume to 100. Why does it do this? Anyway, and also Orion has gotten nerfed. Now, I wouldn't say this is the optimal way of nerfing Orion. I would have preferred they just nerfed the DPS, or like they give it a longer reload, or they nerf the alpha damage instead of just giving it shitty dispersion. But still, as long as they're touching that chip, I'm pretty okay with it. Distortion is gone now. Yeah, for some reason, sometimes Windows fucks with your mic. Don't ask me why it does it, but Windows has this thing where it will randomly fiddle with your audio settings. Even though you don't want it to, you tell it, I want these things to be the default settings, it keeps fucking with it. All the goddamn time. Not much you can do. But all of those things are obviously fantastic news. The midway nerf is probably a bit too extreme, but honestly, as long as Wargaming is at least looking at tier 10 carriers, I'm pretty okay with it. I mean, that's still in testing. I doubt that extreme of a nerf is going to go through to live, but as long as they're doing something about it, I'm pretty satisfied. But yeah, I'm pretty happy that many of the things that I wanted changed are basically being implemented by Wargaming right now.